Man, this keeps getting sadder and sadder. Battlefield 2042, ladies and gentlemen. As if there weren't already enough skepticism surrounding the game's future and its long-term viability as a live service, the latest developments only indicate further struggles ahead. Currently, the game on Steam is sitting at overwhelmingly negative as far as recent reviews are concerned. All reviews at a measly 28%, mostly negative, but the player count is especially indicative of what's going on with this game. On Reddit, you'll see plenty of people highlighting Steam charts, and here's a user who simply said it happened. So what exactly happened, you may ask? Well, looking right here on the bottom right corner, you will see that for the first time, Battlefield 2042 has dipped below 1,000 players, with the trend of this game's daily concurrent player numbers getting lower and lower with each passing week and month. And we're seeing plenty of headlines already. Video Games Chronicle already reported on this, saying Battlefield 2042's Steam player count falls below 1,000 for the first time in the game's history. It was already pretty dire when numbers were in the 2,000s, but man, if matchmaking wasn't bad enough, it's only bound to get worse. People on Reset Era highlighting this, talking about this, and indeed, you can go to Steam charts and check this out for yourself. I can show you right here. In the last week, these are what the numbers look like. Almost dipped below 1,000, but not quite. Wow, right there, 1,001, but right here, it's not even a question. We were looking at 979 players right here, and 950 right here. And if we look at like the trend across 3 months, you can see it is this continuously downwards spiraling trend, and I don't imagine that will stop anytime soon unless this game makes great strides in releasing updates faster and making the content additions and fixes substantial. But with how much there is to fix with this game, the team is clearly so far behind and playing catch-up. Now, as far as community sentiments go surrounding all of this, well, they're celebrating the fact that Battlefield 2042 is dying off, crashing and burning because, well, they were understandably peeved at the state of the game's launch, and they figured, you know what, they need to fail hard so that they can realize that this is just not going to fly. And so one of the top posts recently is this one right here. It happened, boys. Battlefield 2042 subreddit when Battlefield 2042 finally has less than 1,000 players. My God, this dance just makes me cringe. Few things make me cringe quite as much as this GIF right here, but that's besides the point. The fact of the matter is people will celebrate when EA fails if they continue to approach customers in bad faith. Many believe that this continues to highlight that this is a dead live service. DICE's skeleton crew just needs to move on to another project. Nothing will save this game now. The majority of players have moved on. I agree that nothing short of a miracle is going to revitalize this game, and it doesn't help matters that according to Battlefield Bulletin here, a key update that was supposed to come out in early April has been delayed. It is April 12th, 2022 as of the publishing of this video. It's definitely past early April. We're approaching mid-April and still no signs of that substantial update. Battlefield Bulletin tweeted in response to somebody asking, do you know something about the early April update? Battlefield Bulletin said the update has been delayed until further notice. I know some of you have asked the community team about this. They're basically sidestepping the topic, probably because of NDA. We'll know more as soon as it passes the certification on all platforms. What few players remain are understandably disillusioned. Here's somebody who posted a screenshot of that tweet and just straight up says, I'm tired. They've already botched the game's launch, and it's clear that they don't have a full grasp on even upcoming patches and content, so it just paints an even more negative picture surrounding an already infamous title. Now, Battlefield Bulletin did point out that 8 hours ago, as of the recording of this video, Florian, a developer at EA and DICE, tweeted, as far as the early April patch goes, not long now, we're working on the notes right now. And in response to that, Battlefield Bulletin highlighted that DICE is currently working on the April update notes for Battlefield 2042. Florian claims that it's not long now. I guess we'll see if the early April update comes out in mid-April or if it's going to get delayed to like late April or beyond. I mean, who knows at this point. And this whole situation gets even sadder when you start to compare how past games performed in terms of content and update releases versus Battlefield 2042, as highlighted by Battlefield Bulletin here. Battlefield 2042 was released 5 months ago today, and it hasn't received any gameplay content or official roadmap to date. And down here you can see a summary of how many new maps, weapons, vehicles, and or gadgets previous entries received versus Battlefield 2042. You can see a substantial amount of things have come out for these games within the same 5 months window, whereas Battlefield 2042, this emoji is pretty appropriate. Literally nothing except for some minor updates and fixes. Here's another tweet from Westy as highlighted by this Reddit user talking about how many maps came out in the roughly 5 months period after launch. Amount of post-launch maps for Battlefield games delivered by roughly 5 months after launch. Battlefield 3, 4, Battlefield 4, 12, Battlefield 1, 5, Battlefield 5, 2, and Battlefield 2042, 0. And this Reddit user, who's clearly frustrated at the state of things, just said, this is why the community constantly knocks down 2042. It's not only a worse game than previous entries and a far worse launch than previous entries, even its post-launch is far worse than anything that has come before in the Battlefield franchise. With early April having come and gone, people are now wondering where the hell is the early April patch, with a screenshot highlighting how Battlefield 2042's first major update was in fact supposed to come in early April per the Battlefield team. There are plenty of posts about this. Here's another one. DICE needs to change calendars, and right here it is highlighted. Our next update is presently scheduled to arrive in early April. People talking about how basic implementations even are being delayed. Well, here's an apology from Kevin Johnson. Sincerely apologize for the delay with this Monday's feature experience. In the comment section below, one Reddit user complained, how on earth do they delay such a thing? It's literally disabling and re-enabling game modes, specifically referring to the Monday's feature experience. And on top of that, this user also highlights the early April promise, but when stuff like this, basic elements like these, are getting delayed, it just seems like the pipeline surrounding the post-launch development of Battlefield 2042 is in a very dire state. People also highlighting how certain promised fixes still haven't been implemented months after they were promised. Can't believe you guys still waiting for that early April update. And here's a screenshot of a Twitter user highlighting how the C5 recon drone trick is just breaking the game, basically referring to the broken ability to attach a C5 to a recon drone, fly it over from a safe distance and blow up tanks and kill players that way. It's just way too overpowered. Back in December 11th, 2021, it was promised, thanks for the feedback, placing C5 on the recon drone is going to be removed in an upcoming patch. Which upcoming patch wasn't specified, a timetable wasn't specified, but this issue still remains, and I guess the hope is that the early April update will fix this or get rid of this, but who knows when the early April update is coming out, seemingly sometime in April, but early April has come and gone. But yeah, 4 months after promising this fix, it's still not here. There are people also highlighting the dire state of the live service aspect of the game, with Battlefield social media not having tweeted for 2 full months. So this user's highlighting completely normal for a live service game to not post on their social media for 2 full months, suggesting that there's just not a whole lot going on, not a whole lot of interest on EA and DICE's part. Literally same thing happened to the Valve digital card game Artifact, where they just stopped tweeting altogether in the months leading up to its death. There are people highlighting past promises surrounding Battlefield 2042's post-launch. Gee whiz, I can't wait, says his Reddit user, highlighting this article from DualShockers that reported sources Battlefield 2042 Season Pass content to be the most extensive in series history. Plenty of people making fun of the live service aspect of this game. Battlefield's live service summarized, no map needed, making fun of the fact that there's been 0 new maps in the 5 months timetable after the game's release, unlike previous entries which saw a handful of maps come out during the same time frame. Some people straight up calling this live service early access, which absolutely it is exactly that. We can't say it's the worst live service in the world if it's not a live service. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man meme of live service puts glasses on for more clarity. Oh, it's early access. Andy McNamara's tweet about brutal expectations has come up yet again. It's been 5 months since the game's launch, and so little progress has been made, so people are posting things like, all right, Andy, you've had months to scope and design, time to execute. And I don't claim to know the complexities of what they have to work with because of how disastrously this game launched. I don't claim that it's easy to update this game and get it up to snuff, but the fact remains that EA made the decision to ship the game in that state, and now, well, they're paying the price. Paying customers bought this expecting a complete experience, a polished experience, and they got anything but. Certainly not a game worth the full asking price of $60 to $70. Or more, depending on which edition you got. It doesn't help matters that the game is still incredibly glitchy and buggy. Here's just one taste of a recent glitch that a player encountered. Getting meleeed and then, yeah, the camera just going all over the place. And all kinds of wonky crap going on right here. What the hell? I don't even know how to describe this bug. Physics are wonky under certain conditions, like how this Reddit user highlighted. In SMG Rush, you can throw ammo boxes 100 plus meters. Indeed, you can see this in the footage playing this video. You can see for yourself this nonsense right here. What the hell? Yeah, this is Battlefield 2042, everybody. Even basic things like the game not knowing how many hours there are in a day, DICE struggling with how long a day is. First match of the day, 31 hours and 48 minutes. This goes without saying, but it cannot be the match of the day if we have to wait more than 24 hours, because after 24 hours, it's the next day. There are people reminiscing about the past. Remember when each player looked like a soldier? I think we will never see this again in Battlefield. Complaining about the specialist characters who are more akin to, your Apex Legends characters and more in line with your Call of Duty Warzones, but not really that more grounded, boots on the ground Battlefield experience that fans of the series have come to know and love. Last but not least, here we have a tweet from Tom Henderson being highlighted. He said back in June 2021, when nobody could have conceived just how badly Battlefield 2042 could have launched, Battlefield 2042 will frickin' dominate. Save this tweet and come back in 12 months. This user jokes, 2 months to go. Can't wait for the game to dominate in the 12 months since the tweet was posted. Obviously, that's not going to happen. And Tom Henderson has been a source of behind-the-scenes information. He's been an insider who's relayed a number of behind-the-scenes goings-ons. He surely couldn't have predicted just how badly this could have launched. I don't think anybody thought this game would launch this badly. Like, I was expecting it to have some issues because it's EA and DICE, but this is just a whole other level of disastrous AAA launch. And yeah, players are none too happy about the state of things, as highlighted by the fact that the player base continues to diminish, continues to crash to the point where now we are seeing numbers below 1,000 players, which is just not sustainable for a live service. Hell, 931, even lower than what I previously showed. So there you have it, folks. That's Battlefield 2042. Pretty depressing stuff. This is one man's take. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on the latest developments surrounding Battlefield 2042, from the player base dipping below 1,000 to the early April update getting delayed, to all the community sentiments out there. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.